Hi Chem 30. I'm going to do an ester demo. I posted this handout in the content section of D2L. Look at under organic chemistry. It'll say Ester Lab. If you were in class, you would be doing these 8 reactions. So the 6 that are in the table, and then the benzoic acid and methanol and ethanoic acid and methanol. You would be doing these in class and then looking at the scents, but unfortunately you're not in class, so I'm going to do a demo. I'm going to make Wintergreen, which is a combination of, it's actually reaction number 6, which is salicylic acid and ethanol for an ester reaction. Just before I do that, I wanted to show you what you need to do in order to fill this lab out. So it's not a formal lab write-up. I'm going to go through the procedure here, but what I actually want you to do is take these 8 reactions that you would potentially do, and then turn them into esterification reactions. Okay? So that's the big thing that I want you to do. So I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to do an example. I'm going to do example number 1. Sorry, I just had to get a pencil or a pen. So these are your reactions that you're going to make esterification equations out of. There's 8 of them. Salicylic acid, you're going to have to look up. Okay? You're going to end up with ethyl, in this case, salicylate. That's how you pronounce it. So salicylate, just like you would with the ethanoates or the butanoates. Salicylate is spelled like this. Okay? I'm going to leave that one for you to do, however. Benzoic acid will be benzoate. So you'll have to figure that out. Now look at these flavors that these should make. So 1 should make citrus flavor. All goes well when we make the ester. 2, you should get a pear flavor from the ethanoic acid and the ethanol. 3, you should get pineapple flavor from butanoic acid and butanol. So the butanoic acid is what smells like puke. You do get a pretty good pineapple flavor out of it if it's done properly. Butanoic acid plus methanol is apple. Apple and pineapple are actually really similar flavors in chemical form, from a chemical structure standpoint. Butanoic acid plus ethanol should give you strawberry. All you, all you fellas who appreciate the wintergreen flavor, salicylic acid plus ethanol. I'm actually going to use salicylic acid plus methanol for this one. So you can use methanol or ethanol for equation number 6. I don't really care. Benzoic acid plus methanol is going to make this fun little flavor called fruity ylang ylang. And that's fruit punch. Ethanoic acid plus methanol is number 8. So here's what I want you to do. So you have this section prediction. And there's 8. Okay, so you can see that there on the sheet there are 8 spots. Okay? And this is what I want you to do for each one, is show the esterification reaction. So do it just like this. So I have, for number 1 is ethanoic acid plus octanol. And I'm gonna use a strong acid to create esters. And this should make HOH plus octyl ethanoate. So it's your job to name the ester properly. Okay, so remember the alcohol becomes YL and the carboxylic acid becomes OH, so octyl ethanoate, and then draw the correct diagram, the correct structural diagrams for the reactants and the products. So ethanoic acid is going to look like this, plus octanol, right, there's an OH attached to that. Okay, I'm going to use sulfuric acid. I have 18 molar sulfuric acid. So H3O plus, strong acid. And what I end up making is HOH, and then I make an ester. So I make so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's the ethanol portion, right, and then 1, 2 carbons here. That'll be the ethanoic acid. Okay, so this is what I want you to do for each of them. So you're going to take all those 8 equations and fill in the word problem and the structural formulas for each reaction. All right, so, and then include this as well. So in order for this to happen properly, I need to use 20 drops of this from a dropper bottle and then 40 drops of this. So you're just going to record this. And my flavor is going to end up citrusy from that molecule. So you're going to do that for all 8 of them. And that's what you're going to hand in. Okay? All right, so you have 8 spaces to do that. Evidence table, you're already you will have already filled out the flavor and the name when you do the equations. You're not actually able to test them, so right, we can't really get accurate flavor, so don't worry about the evidence portion. What I want you to do is answer the analysis questions 1 through 3. I want you to think about equilibrium. Right, so what equilibrium shifts can we do in order for questions 1 and 2 in order to increase the yield of an ester or convert ester back into the products. Right? These are equilibrium reactions. I want you to look at this as well. Question number 3. Think about treating it with strong acids or distillation or anything like that to answer this question. So you have the analysis questions, and then you have the esterification equations to complete and finish. And just like I want to see the drops, I want to see the word problem, I want to see the acid, and I want to see the structural diagrams for the reactants and the products for the first 8 of those. You're going to have to search for what the salicylic acid looks like to include that. So I'm going to leave that one up for you. That's number 6. And the benzoic acid as well. You'll have to search for that to see what the correct structure is to use the appropriate molecule. All right. So here's my esterification reaction set up. So the first thing I need is a hot water plate, and I'm going to turn that off because I need it's not a hot water plate, a hot water bath. So I'm going to heat that, right? So I've heated that up. On the hot plate, okay, I might warm that up again. So I need that. The test tube is going to sit in the hot water bath. Okay. And I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to leave the hot plate on low. And I'm going to move the test tube over the hot water bath. I'm going to just have it sit in the hot water bath slightly. So there's my setup here. This is where I'm, in the test tube is where I'm going to have the ester. Okay. What I need to do is I need to measure half a gram. I'm going to make wintergreen, so I need to measure half a gram of salicylic acid. So here is salicylic acid. Okay. There's your chemical formula. But like I said, you'll have to look up what the structure looks like online. So it's OHC6H4COOH. I'm going to measure half a gram out of this. I'm going to do that on a weigh boat. Okay, so that's measured on the weigh boat. Yeah, it's a little over half a gram, but I'm not too concerned with it. It doesn't need to be super specific. The salicylic acid goes in the test tube. And I need 40 drops of my alcohol. Now I'm going to use methanol, and I'm going to use 30 to 40 drops of the methanol. Okay, so this is 20 drops. Okay, so I'm just going to swirl that around a little bit. Now I need my acid catalyst. So that's going to be, this is 18 molar sulfuric acid. This is very, very concentrated. So I'm going to add my acid catalyst in here. Ten drops. Okay. And then we let the ester reaction go. And I'm going to let this sit for 10 to 15 minutes. And I'm going to sign off here for a second just because I need to check in with the class, and I'll be back in a few minutes once the reaction's gone.